Hello, my name is Kyle Constant, and I am the current chair of the Missouri Evergreen Reports Committee. This video will cover the process of creating, sharing, and deleting reports folders in Evergreen. This video is part of a series on the various functions of Evergreen Reports. To find the rest of the series, you can go to moevergreenlibraries.org and find Reports Training Materials under the Member Resources navigation menu. Okay, so to get started managing folders, you will go into the Reporter tool, and most of the organization that you can do in the reporting tool will take place in the My Folders area. Shared folders will just mirror whatever structure you create in the My Folders area. So this is where you would create, name, share, and delete any folders to organize things in a way that makes sense to you. I am going to be demonstrating most of this functionality by just showing you how to do these things in the templates folder, but it can be repeated in reports and output in the same manner. So to see what your options are, you can just click directly on the name of one of these primary folders, and the Create a New Subfolder dialog box will be presented to you. So in this case, I'm just going to create one called Example. And then the other option that you have at this point is whether or not you want to share it. If you choose Do Not Share, you don't have to worry about what is selected in this other drop-down menu for where you're going to actually share it. But if you choose Share, then obviously what you select down here will determine how widely everything that is in this folder is shared. So you have the branch that your workstation is actually registered at, then you have your library system, and then you have the consortium as a whole. So this will determine how widely you have shared what's in that folder, and the options here are determined by what I alluded to earlier, where your workstation is registered. So there will be different options in here if, for instance, you are creating a folder and you're not at your local or your normal machine and you go to another branch or some other location. If that workstation is registered somewhere else, then your options will be different. So for this example, I'm just going to click Do Not Share, and then it will say Action Succeeded, and you can see now my folder exists. Once created, you can then save templates, reports, or output to the folder depending on what parent folder it exists in. For example, this folder will be used to save templates that I've either cloned or created from scratch. To make changes in the folder, you can select the folder and click the Manage Folder tab at the top. From here, you can change the folder name, delete the folder, create a new subfolder, or choose sharing options. So most of these, I'll show these really quickly. Most of these do exactly what you would imagine, and you'll get a different dialog box depending upon what option you select in the drop-down menu. So for instance, I just chose Change Folder Name and clicked Go. So this gives me an option to change what the name is and then click Submit. Delete is exactly what you think. It's going to ask me if I'm sure that I want to do that. I'm going to cancel that because I'm just demonstrating things here. To create a new subfolder, it will open up a dialog box very similar to what we just created, or just used to create this folder. So I can create a new subfolder that is just called Example Subfolder. And then I can choose whether or not I want to share and how widely I want to share that one. So this can get pretty granular. You can really create a lot of subfolders and really get things organized the way you want them. One thing that I will say is potentially problematic here is that if you create a subfolder that you share inside another folder that is not shared, so for instance, if I created something called Example Subfolder and I selected Share, but I know, because I just created it, that the folder that it exists in, which is called Example, is not shared, that actually breaks the reporting tool, and it will break that for everyone. This is the voice of experience talking. I have done this, trying to share folders with people in the consortium and not necessarily wanting to share the entire folder that it exists within. And in doing that, I've had conversations with folks from other member libraries in the consortium, and they suddenly were not able to use the reporting tool at all. And so what was explained to us after the fact was that Equinox said this is something that's fairly common actually, but that Evergreen really doesn't know how to handle that if you have a folder within a folder that is shared, but the primary folder is not. So anyway, something to know and to hopefully avoid in the future. Then you can also then just choose whether or not you want to share the primary folder. So for instance, again, if I wanted to share my subfolder, but the parent folder was not shared, and I got to this point and I realized, oh yeah, I need to do that, I can select share this folder, and then it just pops up the drop-down menu for me to select with whom I want to share it, and I can go from there. If you want to delete a folder, it has to be completely empty. If anything at all remains in the folder, you won't be able to delete it. So keep that in mind as well. You'll have to go into your subfolders and delete any templates or reports or output or subfolders, and delete all of that before you can delete the parent folder. So Evergreen really tries to make sure that you're not deleting things that you don't intend to delete. So that's the basic functions of organizing folders. I hope this video was informative, and now you are able to more easily organize your materials in the reporting tool. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.